haven't done a live in so long. I almost forgot what I'm doing. So, and it looks really dark, but this is the spot I've got, so we'll just have to deal with it. Golly, my camera wants me to kind of be over here, I think. Okay, maybe that's better. Alright, so I'm not sure how many people are actually going to be able to watch this live, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. It's been a long time since I've done an Instagram live with folks, and I've got some kind of new fun things that I want to do. This is kind of real life, though, and I do have, hey Ron, I know this picture's so dark. Okay, I'm going to have to get one of those silly, like, I've tried to put off getting one of those silly lights because I don't want bright lights shining in my eyes. But, okay, so I'm trying to do a live. I've got a sleeping puppy over here, so if she gets like super rambunctious, I may have to just call it quits and record a video. But she's taking a nap right now, so I'm going to try to go with that. So, let's see. What I wanted to do today, I'm good. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. I'm really enjoying a little bit cooler weather here in South Texas. And just trying to, I don't know. I haven't been on lately because this puppy is just taking up so much of my time. But she's getting to a point now where like she doesn't like need me all the time, so I'm home with her all day, and I'm like her person. And when my other two dogs passed earlier this year, kind of within 2 weeks of each other, and then my husband was like, "You're getting another dog," and I'm like, "No, I want my freedom. I don't want another dog." I wanted, like, if I was going to have a dog, I wanted, like, a really peaceful kind of dog, and he got me, like, a Ferrari of dogs. I don't know. It just needs so much. She's very active, and she's going to be big. She's a Catahoula, and she's just a lot of dog I even told him, I'm like, this is a lot of dog for me. I'm old now. I don't know if I have that much energy left. So we'll see how that goes. So that's what I've been doing, why I haven't really been on Instagram as much. But I'm starting to come back on more now, try to do some lives, also doing some things back on my YouTube channel as well. So today I want to do an energy update for folks. I've got bottle caps, which I used to be on here drawing all the time, and I haven't done bottle caps for people in a while. So I'm going to do bottle caps for those of you that are on, that want a bottle cap. And then I'm going to just do an oracle, kind of a general reading for everybody, because I'm going to save this and post it up later too. And what I've been doing with that lately, instead of drawing cards, is I've been taking one of my books. So the cover looks so much better on screen than it does. Never mind. I get like overly perfectionist with the colors. But it looks really bright pink on screen, and it looks really dull in person, so I have to work on that. But anyway, so I've been doing, instead of cards, I've been like just intuitively picking a passage from the book as an oracle reading for the energy update, because all these books are channeled. I've channel all of them. They're fiction, but they're channeled, so I don't really know like the stories, so they all come from my higher self and the characters that I work with. And I posted a video on that earlier to IGTV about how I do that channel fiction. So all of these are high vibrational books, so I do like an oracle reading from that. But what I want to do first is kind of rattle us in and clear our energy. And this is a rattle I made. So I made these chakra rattles, the different ones. And this one is just some old vintage bottle that I found. And you can't really see it on the video, but it has like a lot of iridescence to it, a lot of like purple. So this is the crown chakra rattle. But it has a lot of like rainbow looking iridescence. I don't know how it got that, but I just found this out on one of my morning walks. And then it's filled with ametrine crystals, so purple, and a little bit of citrine in there. And this is attuned to the crown chakra. So right now with us, we have a lot of the archangels are with us right now. So the ones that are standing out and making themselves known are Gabriel, Michael, Chamuel. Gabriel, Michael, and Chamuel. So we want to stay focused there. And they're up in the higher realms. So if you want to access archangel energy, you have to kind of be vibrating higher and have your crown really open to that. So we're going to rattle us in to open up our crown a little bit more, because as you're watching these videos, you're going to get activated in some way, whether it be the light language. Oh yeah, we could do light language. So whether it be the light language, the readings that I do for you, or just watching me, my hands, my eyes, and just focusing on me could also just give you the activation that you need in this now, for this now moment. But just to kind of clear the space, open up your crown. We're going to just do a little rattling with this crown chakra rattle. It's very like tinkly. So just relax and let your space be cleared. My intention is that the space is cleared for all of us. Our crowns are open to receiving higher wisdom from the divine. And that I'm a clear, conscious, and high vibrating channel for the messages that I'm giving to you today. Okay, I can't rattle too much because here she comes. All right, be good. All right, be good. All right. It says you're on TV. Don't get hyper. Okay, calm down. Okay, so let me see what they want me to do next. Okay, so they want me to just, what we have been doing this month for me, and the guidance that I've been getting is the theme that I've been working with this month is love and connection. And so I've been using, oh, I'm dark again. I've been using, I gotta get in the light. I've been using this book, which is all about the overarching theme is love and connection for this book, which is Moxie and Roses. And just to give you some idea of the context of the book, as I just pick a passage here in a minute, is what happens when a young girl is called to do the bidding of spirit at a spooky horse ranch. Moxie Montego works nights at a high-end Dallas strip club. Diego Escamilla, bartender turned ranch hand, brings Moxie to what is supposed to be a relaxing outing at Thunder Rose Ranch, run by Pamela Cartwright, her daughter Amber, and Edgar River Whitetail, a Native American healer and animal communicator. Why would a high-end stripper, gentle-souled bartender turned ranch hand, horse whisperer, and lonely socialite all be called together at Thunder Rose Ranch? Spirit has pulled them together to solve the mysteries of Thunder Rose, and the ghosts and spirits of the land have conspired to bring them together to complete a hero's journey that none of them could have imagined. In this first book of the Thunder Rose collection, a mysterious box promises hope and faith, while an ominous force called the Screech threatens the very core of humanity and all that is good trying to manifest in this world. So that's the book, the context of the book. And so I just what do we want everyone to know in this now that's watching this? And then I'm going to pick a page and read from there. See where they want me to read. I always laugh. Holy crap, not this again. Okay. Okay, they want me to read both pages. So this is very interesting because I did a YouTube video and they brought me into kind of a similar place but in a different chapter. So this is the end of it. It's very, okay, so there's a message here too. So the page I turned to was the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new chapter. So that right there is a message in and of itself for everybody, is we're ending an old chapter in our lives and we're beginning a new chapter. Okay? And the messages here, let's just read it first and then we can kind of channel in what the messages are. No, don't eat my book. All right. So, I better hurry this up or these old knees are going to give out, he said, laughing lightly. Miss Pamela, Would you do me the honor of being my wife? I think I'm madly in love with you. There, he had said it. All of it that he had wanted to say for so long. The words weren't many, but Pamela knew that they carried within them all of his heart, and at the sound of them, a longing welled up from within her. You don't know how long I've waited for you to speak to me like that, she said as she reached forward to caress his face. You don't know how much this means to me, she said, sobbing with delight now. Oh, that's enough of this, Edgar said, and with a flourish she stood up and swept her off her feet, twirling her around several times. When he set her down, he looked longingly into her eyes. All the years passed between them, from the time they first met to all the ones in between, and everything that had brought them to this moment. He reached out to caress her cheek and slowly brought his lips onto hers. The kiss was long and slow, and it reached back into timelessness. His hands moved over her body, and she succumbed to his caresses with soft moans of her own longing. How long, she thought, had she waited for this moment, and now here it was, a reality at last. As they danced in the moonlight, swaying back and forth under the spell of the kiss, Edgar broke free of it and looked at her with great seriousness. Does this mean you'll say yes? He asked, as if afraid that perhaps she would refuse him now. Oh, lover, it's most definitely a yes and more, she said as she reached for him and pulled him to her again. So that's the end of one chapter, and then the beginning of the next chapter is called The Screech Returns, which was on the New Beginnings page. And it goes, locked in this passionate embrace, Edgar and Pamela were scarcely aware of anything around them. They knew that nothing could keep them apart now, but they were also making up for lost time. Come with me to my tent, Edgar said, whispering into Pamela's ear. But before they could escape and begin their lovemaking, something eerie and wicked sounding rose up from out of the woods. The screech, long and loud and wailing, pierced the night air, and they both jumped at the sound of it. They broke apart and made off together towards the stables, knowing the horses would definitely be upset by this. I've got to get to the bottom of this, Edgar thought to himself as he got to the stable door before Pamela and rushed inside to find the horses in a frenzy. How many times have you heard that sound? Edgar asked, taking the most skittish horses and moving them together into the main paddock area. Okay, so let's just... I know what the ending page, that first page, was all about. So there's a lot of... There's a lot of divine soul relationships coming into union right now. So this is twin flames, karmic relationships, soulmate, whatever you know them as, whatever like a divine partnership means to you. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's like man and woman. I mean, it's just a divine partnership between two people. And a lot of those are finally, like, we're getting ready, or we're ramping up, or we're setting the intention that we want to meet that sacred partner and have someone in our lives that knows and understands us for who we really are. And so that's going to start happening for people. So if you're not already in a sacred partnership and that's something that you've been wanting, is to really have your partner that you've known for so many lifetimes that maybe you don't know where they are in this lifetime, but you feel like they're out there somewhere, then those are going to start coming into, you're going to start somehow coming into contact with that person. And it could be, they're saying, an unexpected meeting somehow that finally brings you all together. So that was kind of the end of that reading that I did, is those two people that I was reading about had a twin flame karmic relationship from many lifetimes, had met in their early 20s, lost and kind of just denied their feelings for each other for a really long period of time. And then at that point in the book, they were finally coming together and uniting in what will be a divine partnership. Okay, so they're saying that's all to say about that. So I just want to ask my guides, like, what do they want people to know about the other passage that we read? So they're saying there's going to be things that coming up that aren't really easy to understand why they're happening to you. They're not bad things, that they're just there for your soul's growth, and you can't really see them right now because they're kind of the true overall meanings being hidden from you. But that soon everything will be revealed, and you'll come to understand like why certain things have happened to you that have been, you know, seemingly rough and feeling like they've left you feeling like rough around the edges and just kind of a little bit upset with the way things are at the moment. But that those things are going to start all working themselves out. And they're saying they're going to start working themselves out like in magical ways that you didn't quite expect, and that you have been hoping for something to resolve. And it's going to finally resolve in the coming months in ways that are for the benefit of the best benefit of everybody involved, but that that to you are going to just feel like everything, all the loose ends just kind of magically got tied up. Like you're going to feel like I didn't even have to really do anything, and this thing just kind of resolved itself, and you've been like kind of worrying about it and thinking about it for a while and trying to resolve it yourself. And in all reality, behind the scenes, your guides have been working on your behalf to bring all these things together to resolve this situation. And you're going to have to, it's just, they just keep saying like, it's going to seem like you don't even really have to do anything at all, and it's all going to kind of take care of itself with little to no effort on your part. So that's for all of us, myself included. I've got some of those situations as well that I'm like, how are these things going to resolve themselves? And they just keep saying, don't worry, just be peaceful. Don't dwell on whatever this situation is. And when there's something that you need to act on, then you will get very clear guidance on how to act on that, how to move forward, but that the real momentum and the real resolving of the issue kind of happens outside of yourself. So that's good news. I like that. I like that. Okay. So what do we want to do next? They're saying bottle caps. So I'm going to do just a collective bottle caps for everybody, and then if you're on the live and you want a bottle cap, I will do one specifically for you. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see how many, because they all want to come out. They all want to come out. Oh, okay. So the two we got, I always want to show them, but I think they're too small. So the two we got is there's always enough, and you are amazing. Girl, hold on. I must address a behavioral issue. Leave that alone. Leave that. No, we're not him. There's still a lot of chewing going on, even though this dog is like almost 6 months old. That's enough now. I have to take all of the things she will like to chew away from her. Okay, so there's always enough, and you are amazing. So let's just hear. So there's always enough came up twice. This has come up twice for me today. So this morning I drew a personal card, and it was along the same lines of fear about lack, energy. So fearing lack, even though in reality you have everything that you need in this now for what you need to accomplish in your life. It's not just money, even though that's the first thing they're saying that our minds go to is money, that we also need to think outside of the box there and start thinking about, sure, yeah, I'll pull one for you. Start thinking about, and in these messages also are like for all of us. So anything around lack, there is always enough. And if you don't have what you need, then they're saying you just have to ask, and you will be provided with what you need. Everything that you need is provided to you. And now they're saying that the manifestations, the manifestations come even faster if we're open and receptive to them. And you are amazing is just that we need to be patting ourselves on the back more for So I'm doing a live, but I'm also dealing with dog behavioral issue at the same time. So stop biting. We need to be patting ourselves on the back more for the things that we've accomplished. So there's a big change coming. You're hearing about it everywhere, right? For 2020 and all that, the change is coming. Big things are going to be happening. 2020, obviously, it's a whole new decade. So they want us to look back at the past time, all the work we've done, and I think a lot of us, myself included, are sometimes like, oh, I'm not exactly where I want to be right now. And we need to get out of that thought pattern. We need to get back into the gratitude, feeling amazed for where we're at, and excited about the future. This is the girl right here who's doing all the bad stuff right now. Okay, move on. I'm doing a reading. I'm going to put her out the door in a minute. So, we just have to be grateful. Uh-oh. Everything's happening. Okay. If I don't get to pull these bottle caps for you guys, I will pull them for you, and I will, I will direct message you with your bottle cap. So, Tall Cool Brunette, do you want a bottle cap? If you do, just let me know, and I will pull one for you, and because I've got, now other people coming into the room. So can you take her? Can you take her for a minute out there while I do this? Just for 10 minutes. Take her out there. Thank you. I love you, my son. Okay. Whew, well, I got saved. I don't have to get off. Okay. It's like no one wants to, everyone wanted the dog but me, and no one wants to take care of her. So I'm like, don't you? Okay. So we're going to see how this goes. So we need to be patting ourselves on the back more. Be happy with where we're at. Even if it's not exactly where we want to be, is the message that we're getting. That's for all of us, myself included. So I'm going to do a bottle cap for Rod. He's getting 2. Everybody's getting 2. Okay, so listen up though, don't just, because it's just for Rod, don't just tune out, because usually these messages in some way pertain to everybody. So here's what just happened there. I didn't even know this was in there. So Rod, you got 3 things actually. You got drink like a boss, which we'll go into that here in a minute, I guess. Goodness without guilt, and you got, so cool, you got an owl feather. You got an owl feather. That's interesting. I didn't even know there was an owl feather in this bag. So that's so cool. It's a little teeny tiny one. So I'm going to put it back in there. Okay, so let's just see where this is going. So owl spirit animals coming up very strongly for you, Rod. Goodness without guilt, drink like a boss. So I'm just going to say it as I'm hearing it. So they're saying, Rod, you're going through some tough times in your life right now, but it's okay because those are soon going to come to an end. There's nothing you need to worry about. There's nothing that you need to be concerned about, even though in the forefront, these things are in the forefront of your mind. You need to do your best, as best you can, to set those things off to the side. And if you can see yourself even just putting them into a basket and setting the basket somewhere away where you don't have to think about it for a while, and to just try to get those things off your mind as much as you can, because the message that I gave earlier, all these things that we think are big problems in our lives are all going to start to magically begin to resolve themselves. And so we just need to be open to letting spirit take the lead on that. And it's the same thing for you. You need to just be open to letting spirit take the lead on that. The goodness without guilt is, again, coming back to not feeling guilty for being good to what you see about as being good to yourself. So the self-care, the self-love, morning rituals, anything that you can do that makes you feel better about yourself, you're supposed to do that, and you're supposed to do even more of it than you may already be doing and not feel guilty about that. Even if there's other things that are demanding your attention, you, Rod, need to find the balance between giving your attention to those things and doing some more goodness stuff for yourself without feeling guilty about it. And then they want you also to hydrate. They're saying a lot more. So the drink like a boss is like you really need to up your water intake, your hydration. They want you to also get around water as much as you can. They're saying salt scrubs versus salt baths, just to clear your energy field. Yeah, and they're just saying a lot more water right now because you're integrating a lot of new energies. The divine masculine is really being activated right now, and you guys are going through a lot, and just to kind of own up to that. Like, I'm going through a transformation. I really, even though I'm a male and I've been predestined through all these lifetimes as a man to be drive hard and do things hard and do things, powerfully, that now it's time to take better care of yourself and to do that without feeling guilty about it. And then Owl, spirit animal, I want you to just Al just wants you to tune in to Al. Try a drum journey or something to that effect, something shamanic, some sort of shamanic practice where you can open up to the spirit of Owl as a totem animal is coming through really strongly for you. Okay, so that's it for Rod. I'm just so happy we get male energy. I get so excited whenever I see divine masculine awaken divine masculine, because it's just it's so awesome. It's like finally they're awakening. You're welcome. All right, so we've got tall, cool brunette. And then, hi, Kelly. I saw that you joined. If you want a bottle cap, let me know. I'm just trying bottle caps for people. And now the dog, you better not chew on the bottom of my door. So my son is not very good at following through on that, taking care of the dog thing. He took care of her for like a millisecond as he closed the door, and then she's up to shenanigans again. All right, tall, cool brunette. Oh, everyone's getting the same kind of message. Okay, so we just got this message. Before y'all popped on, we drew a collective message, and there is always enough came up, and so I gave a overall reading about that, and you got the same bottle cap. So there is always enough. But let's see if there's anything different they want me to say about it. Okay. So, wow, they're doing like finger wagging. I don't see that very often. So they're saying lack energy is kind of prevalent in your mindset right now. And they're like, you should know better. You know that you're not supposed to be, buying into that lack energy. And so they're asking you to just take a step back and ground and recenter yourself, and just to realize all the good things around you. This kind of goes for all of us too. So as they're finger wagging, they're probably doing it at all of us. But they're just saying, don't focus on the area, because there are areas where you think you're lacking, but what happens is when you focus on those areas, it kind of spills over into the other areas which aren't lacking, and you don't want to like tip the balance into the way of thinking that there's lack in one area and you're focused so much on that the law of attraction starts manifesting that lack into other areas that don't already have it and that are seemingly fine right now. So they're saying, you know what you need to do. I just keep seeing like a finger going like this. You know what you need to do. You need to just take a step back, center, ground yourself, realize that there's plenty to go around for everybody. Even the areas that seem like they're seemingly lacking right now are all going to be part of what I talked about earlier of these energies in the next couple of months starting to tie themselves up. Things where we thought we were lacking, things where you thought that there was going to be difficult it was going to be difficult to resolve them, or just going to start magically being rectified and magically being like coming to fruition in ways that just seem like you don't really have to do much about it. So let me see if there's anything else they want to share with you. What are they saying? They're saying magic be gone. What does that even mean? I don't know. Magic be gone. I don't know what that means yet, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so they're saying, tall, cool brunette, that's all for you, that you should know what you need to do. All right, so I don't know. Oh, Jewel Oregon. Sorry, I kept reading it different. So Jewel Oregon and Kelly Wagner. We are drawing bottle caps for Oracle bottle caps. So if you'd like one, let me know in the comments. And otherwise, I'm going to see if there's anything else that my guides want me to share. As my dog is chewing the bottom of the door right now. You're going to get in trouble. She pulled up a piece of the floor earlier and was chewing on it. All right, let's see. Okay, so Kelly wants a bottle cap, so let's do that. Kelly. Oh, Kelly. I try to show them. I was saying it earlier, but sometimes it's hard because I think they're backwards too. But it's the future looks bright. So bright. Just that song, like the future's so bright you gotta wear shades. So they're saying, don't be feeling down about the future, even though you can't see where exactly it's going right now. They want you to take off your dark sunglasses and just like be really excited about the future. So there's not all darkness around. Everything's fine. You're in the light. You are being divinely guided and protected in all that you do, even like seemingly small stuff. Your higher self is leading the way. I think you've been questioning that. So kind of questioning like, is my higher self really, have I really embodied my higher self? Is that really true? And your higher self is saying most definitely yes. You are one now. You are in the embodiment phase. That you were wondering about that too, because you felt like maybe you weren't as far along in your ascension as others around you that you've been following on Instagram, as they're specifically saying on Instagram, and that you just need to own your power. You need to own your power. You need to stop giving your power away to others. And you just need to come into yourself. And they're saying like a phoenix rising. It's a feeling you have to embody, they're saying. You have to embody who your higher self is. That she's oh my gosh, she's a badass woman. And she knows what she wants. She knows how to get it. And you just need to get out of the way. You need to have, they're saying little Kelly, so like the ego self. Little Kelly ego needs to get out of the way and let big Kelly, your higher self is so funny. Need to get big, they're saying you need to let big Mama Kelly get in there and get some work done on your behalf. So you are one, and as soon as you kind of let go of some of the ego thinking around that, they're saying you know how to do that, that you will start to more consciously notice that, yeah, I really am acting from my higher self. I really know exactly what I need to do. So, okay, that's good. You need to let her out. She's funny. She's amazing. And Jewel Oregon. Okay, we've never talked to you before. Let's see what we've got. So you got your best decision of the day and tasty detox. So your best decision of the day, they're saying, was to join this live and get this activation, because that's what you need right now. You need a soul activation, meaning that you are newer, not necessarily brand new, but newer to the ascension process, and you have all these questions going on in your mind about kind of what does that mean to you, what is that all about, and that a lot of your inner guidance is clouded by your need to detox your body. So people that are newer to the ascension process really have to almost always, seems like, start out with some sort of a physical detox. So that you can clear all of this gunk and stuff from in your cellular systems, and it opens you up more to your psychic gifts, more to your personal power, and more to be able to hear your angels and your guides, because right now you're kind of struggling to hear them. You see, like, you want to open your third eye, but you see like a thin veil when you are trying to like look into the spirit realms, and you want that to all be more clear. And they're saying the first step to that is really to get clear within yourself. So clear, they're saying, from a physical perspective for you, specifically, oh, you're going to hate me for this, specifically meat and dairy has got to be eliminated, they're saying, for at least 2 weeks before you're going to start to feel clear inside. They say, you know this, you've tried to do it before, you haven't been successful, and so you've been putting it off. Thanks, Rod, for joining. You've been putting it off because you just feel like that's not really going anywhere. And it's really easy to slip back into old ways and old patterns of going back to, and I do this myself a lot too. Like I went off vegan, and then I started really highly guided to go vegan again. And then I live with anyone else in my family is vegan. So it's really challenging sometimes to not go there. So they're saying, you got to just stand strong, that if you really do want to continue on your ascension path, they're saying it's not imperative that you are a vegan or anything like that. You don't have to be. You have to listen to what your body's guiding you to do, but that really a 2-week detox, even if you go back to your old way of eating after that, they just want you to see what it would feel like to do this 2-week detox of meat and dairy, and just see if you feel clear and you feel better about yourself, your energy feels lighter, and that will really help you moving forward. And then they're saying you can sporadically add those things back in and take them out as you want to, but that there's a lot of chemical imbalance in your body right now, and if you can flush all that out with a detox, so drinking lots of water, eliminating those two things, because meat is very acidic, dairy kind of clogs your system, and if you can just move all that through with a lot of liquids and a more vegetarian diet right now, then that would be really, really helpful for you. So let me see if there's anything else they want me to say to you there. And they say, just go easy on yourself. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. This is all of us. This has just been the message of this video. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing just fine. You're exactly where you need to be. There's no rush to become an ascended master right now. They're saying, Jewel Oregon, they're saying, there's no rush to become an ascended master. Like, right now, you're perfectly fine. They're just saying baby steps, and you will get to where you need to be. And actually, if you just take baby steps and you take this one small step, they're saying, the detox thing, that you're going to see your ascension energy just pick up, and it's going to seem like you're going really fast towards being to where you want to be. All right. They're saying that's all there. You're welcome. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else they want me to share. Hi. Okay, they want me to do one more reading from the book for everybody. So before Rod, I think, was the only one on. I do like oracle reading from my books now, because they're all channeled. So they're channeled fiction, but the readings that I do always have to do with the message for the day. So this one is Moxie and Roses. I'm not going to read the description again, but if you're interested in that, you can go back and look at the description, or you can find them on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles or whatever if you really want to see what all of that's about. But I'm just going to pick a message for all of us from the book. and see. Oh, this is a lot. So they're telling me to read the left page, and that there's a message for everybody here in this reading. Good morning, she said sleepily. My name is Moxie. I'm Diego's friend, she said, picking up a bagel and smothering it with some of Marguerite's homemade vegan cream cheese. As Edgar watched the girl, he had a strange reaction in his stomach. He felt he knew her from somewhere, but that was crazy. And then it hit him as he received a huge download of information from his spirit guides, you guys. And then he immediately knew who she was and how she played into the story of Thunder Rose Ranch. No one needed to tell Edgar that what was happening here seemed like science fiction. Remember, I told you all of our things are going to start resolving themselves in magical ways that are going to seem really kind of weird to us. He knew that the outside observer would think the obvious if told about this place. They would think it was some haunted location that needed a ghost hunter to come and displace otherworldly spirits. But since getting here, he knew, had always known really since he first stepped foot on this land, that it held a magic and purity that was only found in what was called a sacred place. And this was like no other sacred place in that it held its own energy of the divine and would continue to send that energy out to whoever needed to be here to witness what was to occur on this land in the coming months and years. It was almost too much for him to fathom at the moment, and he suddenly realized over his coffee and bagel that he might not be going home to Oklahoma for a long while now. He had a lot of work to do, and so did this girl Moxie and her counterparts. He just wasn't sure exactly how it would all be pieced together. And there were still unfolding mysteries regarding the box and the horrible sounds that had been hearing coming from the woods. And as he drank and ate and chatted with others who slowly came in for their morning brew, he saw his next steps unfolding before him. That's what's going to be happening for us. So they're saying that that's a lot of, in this book, and just right now the energies for us, there's a lot of foreshadowing about what's going to be happening. I've heard this too from other spiritual teachers that slowly, the end of they're saying this weekend, it's going to start to be revealed to us, like what are our next steps? What do we need to do to move forward? And they're going to start to show us little glimpses of all the magical things that are going to start taking place in our lives. And the message is to get out of your head, get out of your ego mind, obviously get out in nature. That's what they always tell us, to get out in nature so we can hear our guidance. Go find some sacred space to you that's out on the land somewhere. And sit there and meditate with your guides on what are my next steps and ask to be shown clearly what they are. They're saying to map out a plan. Even if it's a rough draft of a plan of where you want to go in your life, just map that out, write it out, or whatever works for you, vision board it or whatever. Don't expect every single detail to be filled in, because Spirit's job is to help you with all of the detail work. You're just supposed to come up with the intentions, kind of the basic roadmap of like, I want to get from point A to point B. They're saying don't attach time frames or time limits to this plan, but know that soon, they always say soon, that these things are all going to start coming into place for you. So that's it. That's pretty good. I'm excited by that. Just using our crown chakra rattle again. This is one I made for the crown chakra, to open up your crown so that you can more easily hear your guidance that you're being given. It's got ametrine crystals in it. And that's it. We're just going to send you on your way. And I hope you all have a beautiful, magical, wonderful day. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining. That was really fun. I'm sending out some healing. My palms are getting warm. So we're sending out some healing to everybody that watches this now or in the future. Bye, guys. Thank you. I love y'all. Okay, we'll see y'all later. I gotta remember how to save this and make sure my dog hasn't like chewed up part of my house. Okay, bye, y'all. Are you sure you want to end?